Hi, it's Rich Emmett here, and in this video you're going to be adding the finishing touches to your WordPress hub site. When I say finishing touches, of course the hub site is always going to be a work in progress. By that I mean that on your hub site you're going to be making regular posts. I'm going to be recommending that you maintain 2 or maybe 3 posts a week on your hub site at least. Today though, we're going to get the hub site in the position where you can start making those regular updates and start driving some traffic to the site. At the moment, if you've been following along with the videos, you'll have a WordPress site that has at least 1 post on it. You'll have installed a theme and also installed the plugins that I recommended in the last video, and maybe some other plugins that you found for yourself. This is what my hub site is looking like at the moment to someone visiting the site. Your site might of course look a little bit different to this one depending on what theme you've decided to install. On this particular site you can see that the post that was put there can be found by clicking through on the featured image on the home page, and that shows the post that I did in the previous video. What's missing from the site is anything down the side of the blog post and also the menus at the top of the site. If I quickly show you another one of my sites, which is richemmett.com, you can see that there's a menu up at the top of the page, and also down the side there are a number of items. WordPress calls these items down the side of the page widgets. So you can see on this page there are widgets for the sign up form for my mailing list, some social widgets for Facebook, Twitter and so on, a link to this Internet Zero to Internet Hero video course, some ads that people have put on the site, links to some recent comments, a link to Dean Holland's free video, and a link to recent posts on the site. And like with plugins, you'll see that there's a lot of flexibility for what you can do with widgets and what you can place down this margin. I'm going to start by showing you how to set up the menu at the top of the page. Now, I'm going to recommend that at least initially you use the menu items the same as I've used here on richemmett.com. Once you've seen how the full hub site system works and you know a bit more about it, then by all means change that and add other items to the menu or whatever. For now though, I recommend that you use these items that I've got here, so home, about me, blog and resources. While I'm still on the richemmett.com site, let me show you what you might put in each section. About me is fairly explanatory. It is however quite important for what we're doing. The hub site is used to help people know you, like you and trust you, because we discussed that that's an essential part of selling online, or just selling generally in fact. And the About Me page is one way that you can allow people to know a bit about you. The blog is another place where people can find your blog posts. On my theme, the latest blog posts appear on the home page. That isn't the case in every blog theme, so it's useful to have a menu item that will take you to the blog. It may be that I change the theme in future. That's one of the good things about WordPress themes. They allow you very quickly and easily to change the appearance of your whole website. And by including the blog in the menu item, if the theme does change in future so that the blog posts don't all appear on the home page, people will still be able to easily find the blog. The last menu item is resources. And here is where you're going to put links to all the resources, the software, recommended training and so on, that might add value to visitors to your site as you go along. So you can get started now by creating both the pages that you'll need and the menu items. If I switch back over to the new site that's being created, Rich Emmett's Forex Tips, and if you go back to your site, you want to obviously go to the dashboard. Incidentally, if you're looking at your website as the public would see it and you're already logged in as the administrator of the site, another way of getting to the dashboard in WordPress is just to click on Edit in the blog post as I'm doing now, and this will take you to the dashboard. Okay, so the About Me page and Resources page are going to be fixed pages. Although you might change them or edit them from time to time to add new resources for example, they're fairly static. You don't want to add a new resources post 2 or 3 times per week for example, or a new About Me page 2 or 3 times per week. And because they're fairly static, instead of creating them as a post, you really want to be creating them as pages. I've already just gone ahead and added the About Me page and the Resources page. The About Me page, I recommend that you go ahead and do that now for yourself. create an About Me page saying a little bit about yourself and why you're doing what you're doing. Feel free to take a look at mine on my site and copy parts of that, or get ideas of what to write or whatever, and put a photo of yourself in there as well, and that'll just complete the About Me page. The resources page, you'll see for now that I haven't recommended any actual resources yet. I've just put some text in there saying I'll be sharing any resources that I use and which I think will be of value to you on this page. My rules for recommending a resource are: number 1, I've used the resource myself and tested it sufficiently to form a clear opinion of its value, and 2, I consider that it's the best resource or the best resource within its price range available to you. Keep checking back for the best tested resources available to help you achieve your goals. It's going to be easy to come back and edit this page later when there's a new resource to recommend. And incidentally, I do recommend that you follow that advice that I've put in the resources page, that you only ever recommend an item that you've both tried and found to be good. There can be a temptation to find just high converting products or high commission products and recommend them because they're high converting or high commission. That's a mistake if you want to build a long-term and profitable business. Some products which are high converting or high commission aren't high converting or high commission because they're necessarily good or because they're the best item available for your subscribers. Always look after your subscribers and always make sure that you only recommend resources that you've tested yourself and they're the best available for your subscribers, even if that means it's a lower commission offer or even a lower converting offer. In the long run, providing the right products for your customers will pay off over recommending the next big launch that you haven't tested yet. Once you've created your About Me and resources page, you then want to add them in to the menu. And to do that, you go to Appearance in the left-hand margin and click on Menus. When you get to the menu page, you'll see that there's an area on the right-hand side of the screen which has the details of the current menu that you're working with. And you should also see, hopefully, if you've just added the 2 pages that I've recommended to you, that the menu area contains 3 menu items: Home, About Me and Resources. The first thing I'm going to do is give the menu a new name, and I'm going to call it Homepage Menu. Although this menu will appear by default on all the pages, you can also put different menus on different pages if you want to. So by calling this Homepage Menu, I know in future that it's the same menu as appears on the home page, and if we add additional menus in the future, it's still going to be easy to identify this particular menu. Okay, so the name's been changed, and at the moment this menu is still in draft. So if I take a quick look over at the website, you can see that the menu still isn't appearing yet on the web page. In order to make the menu appear on the web page, I simply click Create Menu, and because of the theme I'm using, I also need to click the box to show that it's going to go in the position of the main menu. And when I click Save Menu again and then refresh the page, you'll see that the menu appears at the top of the page. Now, by default, the menu items happen to be in the order that I want them just now. However, just to show you how you would move them around, I'll move them around a bit and delete an item and replace it, just so you can get an idea of how easy it is to work with the menu. So the first thing that you can do is change the order. So let's say that you want the About Me to appear last on the menu. All you need to do is drag it and drop it below Resources and click Save Menu, and then when you return to the site and refresh it, you'll see that the About Me now appears last. So that's how easy it is to change the order of the menu items. If you want another page adding to the menu, that's also really easy. So to show you that, I'll quickly remove the About Me page, and then I can show you how to add a page back in. So to add a page, I would simply come over to this column on the left hand side, select About Me, add that to the menu, and that page then appears here as it was before. I'll put that back in the order that I wanted it to, save it, and then returning to the site and refreshing the page, the order on the menu will be the same as it started out and exactly how I want it for now. Now there's one more menu item that you want to add, and that's the blog menu item. That's slightly different in that rather than linking to one page in the menu, you want it to link to a page showing all your blog posts. So how you can do that is by linking the menu to a category rather than to a page. You can see that you have categories in this left hand menu, and if you click on that you can also see that the only category available at the moment is uncategorized. So you want to create a category called blog, which will then show all of your blog posts. To create that new category, you hover over posts and select categories from the submenu. Once you're in categories, you name your category, which is blog, and then in the box called slug you put how you want your URL extension to appear after the name of your website. So if your website's called richemmettsforextips.com, by putting in here blog in small case, that will then appear as richemmettsforextips.com/blog/ and then the name of the page. So typically you would simply put in lowercase the same as the name of the category that you're creating. Parent you can leave as none, and there's no need to add a description, so simply then click add new category, and you can see that that new category appears over in the list on the right hand side. So now you have a category called blog. However, you can see that the post you've already prepared is in the category at the moment called uncategorized. So there's one post in uncategorized and no posts in the category you've just created called blog. You want the post you prepared to be in the new category blog, so that when someone clicks on blog in the menu they'll see it. To do that, you go back to your post and click to edit it. Down the right hand side of the post you can see there's an option for which categories that post goes in. So you want it to go in blog, you tick by blog and remove the tick by uncategorized to remove it from that category, and then update the blog. That post will now appear in the category that you've just created called blog. To get it in the menu, then go back to the menus option by hovering over appearance and clicking menus. And now in the categories drop down in the left hand margin you see there's an option to add to the menu the category blog, and I'm going to place that in between about me and resources and update the menu. And now when I return to the website and refresh the website page, you'll see that the menu appears exactly how I want it, with the four categories: home, about me, blog and resources. And you'll see that when I click on blog, the blog post that I wanted to appear now appears under that menu item. And that's the menu completed. The only other thing for you to do today is to put some items down the right hand side of the page, and you'll recall that these items are called widgets in WordPress. To find widgets in your WordPress dashboard, simply hover over appearance and then you can select widgets from the submenu that appears. Okay, look first at the drop down boxes in the right hand side of the page. You may not see all of these boxes, you may not see as many as that, or you may even see more boxes than that. Depending on what theme you've installed, you may have more or you may have less drop down boxes than this. Unless you have my theme, for example, or another theme from WP Zoom, you're not going to have this first drop down box here. However, you should have a drop down box called sidebar, and this is where we're going to be adding the widgets to appear on your website. You can see at the moment that this is empty, and that's why on the website there's nothing showing down the right hand side of the page. So let's add some widgets to the sidebar. The widgets available to you are on the left hand side of the page. The ones I have at the top of the page in white are standard widgets that come with most WordPress installations, and the ones at the bottom of my screen are widgets that have been provided along with my theme. For now I'll just use a couple of the standard ones at the top of the page so you can get the idea of how to include the widgets in the sidebar. Before I do that though, I'll just mention that you can find all sorts of widgets and they arrive as WordPress plugins. So you just install the widget as a plugin and it will be available for you to use somewhere in this column on the left. You should know now how to install a WordPress plugin, And if you need to look over that again, then just take a look at the earlier video on installing WordPress plugins. Okay, all you need to do to add a widget to the sidebar is select a widget from the column on the left and drag and drop it into the sidebar. Very simple. So you might want to start by adding, for example, recent posts and recent comments. Although you don't have any comments yet, you will have some soon. And you can add, say, a search box into the widget area. Now you can see that there are some settings that you can change in each of the widgets. So on recent posts, it's currently defaulting to show the last 5 posts that you prepare. We only have 1 at the moment, of course, but we may want to show ultimately 10 posts, 10 of the last posts in there. So we just click 10 and save it. And similarly for comments, say we might want to show 10 comments in there instead of 5. Once we've saved the options as we want to save them within the widget, those widgets will then automatically show as items in the sidebar. So if I refresh the page here, you can see that there's the search box that we've just added. Then here are the recent posts. There's obviously only 1 of them, but we've chosen to do 10, so those will be listed as 10 posts. And any comments that you receive, the most recent 10 comments would also appear there in the widget box. And once those are included as a widget, they look after themselves, so you don't need to do anything in order for them to automatically show the 10 most recent posts that you've done, or you don't need to show down here the 10 most recent comments. WordPress will automatically take care of that, and the widget will take care of it, and it will just automatically update those and show those in this right hand column. The widgets will also show automatically on every page. So if we click through to show the different pages on the menu bar that we just put in, we can see that this stays the same on each page. You can in fact put a different widget item on different pages. That's called dynamic widgets, and we'll look at that later on. I'm also going to be looking in future videos at some extra things that we're going to recommend that are included in this sidebar. For now though, that completes the widgets that we need to add, and it also completes, for now at least, your basic hub site. Since this is the last video in the first module, I want to briefly recap where you're at and where you're going to soon. I explained in the first video that by the end of 10 videos, if you followed along and carried out the recommended actions, you'd have a hub site on your own web hosting, under your control, that you could easily amend, edit and change, adding posts quickly and easily. You've now done that. I also discussed with you the dynamics of an online sale. And I explained about KLT, or know, like and trust, and why it's important for your prospects to know you, like you and trust you. And your hub site is one of the first elements of achieving KLT. So of course you need to keep on posting on your hub site. I recommend 2 or 3 times a week, and you can post about your own journey, your own landmarks, and also useful information that you've researched and you think would be of use to your subscribers. And so already you could post about getting web hosting, using cPanel, installing WordPress from your cPanel, writing a blog post, installing plugins, installing a theme and so on, as well as what made you get to this point and your aims and goals moving forward. There are many people who don't know how to do these things, and there are people who will want to know about it. They need to find you first, of course. In the next 10 videos, you're going to know how to drive free traffic to your site, as well as how to convert some of that traffic into subscribers. And then you're well on your way to creating a web business that can start generating an income for you. At this point, if you've got your hub site set up, then you've already achieved a lot. You might be surprised to know that a number of people will already have dropped off and stopped before getting to this point. That might seem absolutely crazy, but from the 97% of people that fail online, a third of them fail without ever getting to this point of having their own hub site that they can post regularly on and under their own control. Another third fail because they never drive traffic to the site. So by the time you get to the end of the second module, that's 2/3 of your competition that you've potentially knocked out already, and you're well on the road to creating an online business. I look forward to taking things forward in the next video and in the next module so that you can start driving traffic to your website and building your online business.